you know, there's a lot of nervousness at TNT and ESPN. We're your partners in the NBA. We know that the bidding's coming up, and Amazon and Apple and NBC are going to make a play. You have to, and I told Gail, I said, you technically work for the owners, but you've been very friendly to the players. How do you balance that when you're trying to negotiate a new television deal? Like, I want to make my owners happy because
To keep both sides happy, you mean?
like, which is impossible.
Is it?
How do you judge that?
Well, first of all, in terms of owners and players, I mean, I think we have a great partnership in this
Yes,
league,
great.
and we have for years. You know, frankly, when I'm sitting down and talk about television media, that I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't think of the fans first.
Okay.
I mean, there are consumers. If we don't find a way to present our game on networks where people can find and present it in a place where they produce it the way you and your colleagues do at TNT, you know, and great job that ESPN does, people aren't going to watch it. So so the players and the owners have a partnership. You know how our cap system works. It's in essence a revenue sharing system. And it's a fantastic model because everybody's incentive. In essence, it's a 50-50 split. But as I say to the players and to my bosses who are the owners, that there's so much competition these days in media. I mean, just think of what's going on at TNT in terms of changes in cable, what's happening at CNN, and everything's moving digitally. So as we're looking out the next decade, we got to think about how we're going to produce and present our games in a way where they're going to be easily accessible. Because look, a lot of people, you must talk to fans all the time who don't get cable. And they feast on social media, and our players are incredibly popular there, but it's not a substitute for watching live games. And the thing that really excites me, there's been a lot of talk about games in essence being ported over to digital platforms. And you saw it with NFL, with NBC and Peacock. Amazon has games now too. But it's, in essence, they're still the same games, it's the same feat of the game. What's really exciting to me, as you move to these digital platforms, it creates opportunities to do things unimaginable before in traditional television. I mean, frankly, for people who do want to bet, and you talk about that, you can do that. If you want nothing to do with that, that's fine. For people who want to buy the shoes the players are wearing, that the jerseys are wearing, for people who want to be part of a larger community, for people who want different languages, different dialects, for people who want to listen to commentary from Charles, not just during the break, but throughout the game, or people want Mike Breen to be doing play-by-play, or just to hear a group of people who are just fans having fun watching the game. So I think production's going to change dramatically over the next several years. And the other part about our game being global, I mean, even now, 75% of our viewership comes from outside the United States. And these isn't that incredible? And these,
that is incredible.
whether it's Max, your company, or whether it's, Netflix or ESPN Plus going global, we're a really unique sport in that we have fans all over the world. We're distributed to 215 countries and territories now, but it's not always so accessible when you're network to network. Think of where Netflix is growing on a global basis, and I think 260 million subscribers, and most of that growth now is coming globally. So we're at a really interesting time from a media standpoint.
So I'm old, not as old as Gail. I remember.
I'm not even offended.
No, I remember vividly when the first time an NBA player made $1 million. And I'm talking Dr. J, Moses, Maurice Cheeks, and Andrew Toney, and those guys. We're walking around high-fiving each other. We couldn't believe that an NBA player made $1 million. Now the average salary is like right around $10 million.
Yep.
Is there a ceiling or breaking point? What is like? First of all, God bless all these guys making much money as they want to, but
Yeah, you don't begrudge that.
I do not begrudge it at all.
You don't begrudge that,
but
yeah.
we're gonna have guys making $80, $90 million a year coming up soon. I want to know how the fans. Do you concern yourself about how the fans are gonna react to an NBA player making $90 million a year?
It also opens up the gambling conversation too, when you see people making that much money and fans being able to.
Well, just to, to begin with the money for the players.
Yeah.
As I was saying before, it's a revenue sharing system between the teams and the players. So as we generate more revenue, players make more money. So I remember as a kid too, even long before $1 million, and grew up in New York as a Yankee fan, and people would say, I can't believe the players can make $200,000 and $300,000. So they're entertainers. I don't think any more than, fans begrudge, Beyonce or Taylor Swift. I mean, to me, if you're generating the interest from the fans, you deserve to make what the market will bear. At the same time, whether it's the owners of the teams or the people producing the games, there's, as I'm constantly reminding the players, but it requires a whole ecosystem to support you. I mean, sometimes I use the analogy, it's like when you watch a movie and they're the stars you see on the screen, but then you could sit there for 15 minutes and watching the credits because all those people are necessary.
Yes.
And that's kind of like the NBA. There's tens of thousands of people who are all employed, by the league and the teams and the related businesses all to produce this game. So to the extent that interest continues to grow, and I think basketball is the fastest growing sport in the world, and we're unique in terms of the NBA in terms of our global appeal, that there's no reason player salaries shouldn't continue to grow, and I think that's healthy. And again, in terms
Players
of...
will like that answer,
but I
Adam.
also think in terms of what fans think, again, do people begrudge Taylor Swift or Beyonce or Jay-Z or any great
And the
entertainer?
answer to that
Or
is
by the way,
no.
you're earning a nice living too. I'm just saying, I think...
Yes, you're earning a nice
I know, but
living.
I think
Just trying to get in Gil's
no, I just think that people, people respect these. The thing about NBA players,
think that's a good
you were
point.
mentioning some earlier, they have unique talent on the planet. And when you have a unique talent out of 8 billion people on the planet, you're going to be able to command, outsized salaries.
Yes.
I mean, I love what's happening around basketball, and it's a growing sport, and there continues to be so much opportunity out there.
Still love this sport. And you mentioned
too.
Taylor Swift. I just have to say this: when she blew up the NFL in ways that they couldn't even totally anticipate, was there a small part of you, Adam, that thought, God, I wish she was dating an NBA player?
Gil.
Wasn't there a small part of you that thought that?
A big part.
Oh, a big part. A big part. Thank you, Commissioner Adam Silver. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.